Hi guys, so our last video was our groundbreaking video, and we've been working pretty hard over the last couple of weeks trying to get all that ground broken, and this is what we've come up with so far. Okay, here's the result of our digging efforts for our piers. We have probably 15 yards worth of material setting here. All of it was pulled out of the holes by hand. Jackhammered everything to kind of bust it up and get it loose out of there, and then pulled it out with buckets, tossed it into the Bobcat over here, and then moved it from the work site over to this pile. And we may have some plans for this rock right here. We'll have to see how that works out, but stay tuned for that. We're going to need to classify it down and possibly even break some of it up, so it'll be usable for a lot of different things that way. Okay, so here's kind of an overview of the work site. You can see that we have made so far 17 holes, and we have one left to do, and that's going to be about in this area right in here. And so that's our project for today, is get after that last hole, and we'll be able to start dropping our complete footers in. This has been our footer production area, and what we've been doing is we've been digging holes, then we go and cast some of the pier footers, and we've got a number of them done already. We've got the cage right here for number 12, and we have 6 more to make after that. And here's one of our complete footers sitting by the hole, about ready to go in. We made this lifting device. It's a couple of bolts hooked into a all thread nut, but just a piece of panel with some holes in it, loop on the top. So the stop nuts prevent this from lifting up any higher and actually pick up the assembly. It weighs about 420 pounds, so there's only a couple hundred pounds on each rod there, so it's not a very hard lift, and the Bobcat picks it up easy enough. Kind of interesting, some of the geology of this area that we're on here. We only have about a 30-foot area, but it varies so much from one hole to the next. You can see in this hole that the layers are all kind of evenly stacked. It looks almost like somebody was laying brick for a well hole. You can see here how the rock has changed to probably greater than a 45-degree angle, which makes it really difficult to get through, because as you're hammering down on it, you're going at an angle and you're not really breaking the rock, you're kind of splitting it and just getting stuck in the middle of it. So some of these were really hard to get through and took a lot more time than the ones that were laying flatter. Then even past that, some of the holes had very blocky and hard rock in it that was in thicker layers. It came out in bigger pieces, but it made it harder to make a nice round hole out of things, just because the blocks wanted to come out in big pieces. Clearing out the hole. It's been drilled previously, so use that rebar to mark where it's at. The flags were just to show where they were. Okay, we had to put up the shade because it's getting a little toasty out today already, and we've got almost the first layer of dirt off, just starting to get down to where the rock is at, and we've
got rid of some big roots.
We've got the Bobcat bucket probably 2/3 of the way full, so just about time to dump that. then we're going to take the drill and drill down through our center hole again, just so we can keep track of where we're going as we go down.
So how deep is it?
Pretty deep.
Not to China yet, though.
No. Okay, so from our breaking ground video, this was our setup for aligning everything, and we just have this steel cable that is aligned with this laser. You can stretch that out to where it crosses the hole and then drop a plumb bob down to the middle. I've got a template here with a center marked in it, and we dropped it down in our prepared holes, has the gravel down there, and sprayed a circle on it with marking paint. So now all we have to do is set the pier right in the middle of that circle. Okay, and there's the first one, and we managed to get it pretty close to the middle of the mark, so we might be in pretty good shape here so far. Well, the angle of the sun's starting to get pretty low on the sky, but we got the last footer put in. Check it against our cable and plumb bob here. This is the contraption we ended up using to be able to level things. It's just two 2x4s screwed together. Hung a water bottle on the back of it to tension the cable. And then we just have the cable clamped on there. There's a little metal bracket that came out of the junk drawer from something, so just screwed that on there, and that's what holds the cable in place. Might be able to see the green laser running right down the middle of the cable, so looks like we got that right on. We used our central contraption to get the distance of the footers at the same distance from the center and also set the angle. So now we have another contraption we made because we need to get the center to center distance checked. That's a board laying across a couple of sawhorses with a rock in the middle for stability. And we have a plumb bob on each end. We have the distance we need set by the board itself. So this plumb bob hangs over the end on this side. And this plumb bob, the string goes through a hole that was set at the distance that we needed. So we know those two strings are always the same distance apart. And then I've got the string wrapped around this screw. And it's wrapped around probably about 3 times. There's a piece of tape under it to keep the threads of the screw from cutting up the string. And then I can use a screwdriver, and by tightening or loosening the screw I can adjust the height of the plumb bobs by a small amount, so they're just down to where they're above the mark that we need. So we know by doing that we are getting pretty exact measurements, because we're checking all 3 points of a triangle here. Typically how it goes in construction: you dig a hole and then you fill it up. Okay, pier number 1. Oh, hi guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. There's a lot more to come. Oh, hi guys. I don't think that's gonna work. We're recording. Quiet on the set. Oh. You're wasting film.